You're watching SBA Today. With all the latest news, stories, and advice, here are your hosts, Paul Long and Tanya Mazurek.
All right, good morning, guys. It's Tanya without Paul again because he was not, I guess he didn't think that I was bad enough last week that he had to come back this week, which he probably should have. Anyway, today's August 27th, 2024. And as we always say, our motto is likely helpful, definitely entertaining. Today, potentially just entertaining. But anyway, so let's get into it. Our stories today in this episode are upcoming Etran technical enhancements. I'm only going to go over the first two, which started on August 22nd. There's a couple more coming down the line, though. The extension of lender records retention requirements. Okay, we're going to go over that one. And third is the SBA PPP acronym wrap. Just kidding. I'm not doing that again. But anyway, okay. So first, though, the story. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, let's say, the study of frozen ice crystals. Masaru Emoto did a study once, and I'm sure you guys have heard of this, regarding frozen ice crystals, where the water that was exposed to positive words created beautiful crystals, while the ones that were exposed to harmful speech created ugly crystals. Now, I believe in it. Not everybody does, but I do, right? And one of the things that I always tell people is I'm like an ostrich. I stick my head in the sand sometimes, I think, when it comes to negativity around me or things that could create negativity with me. It's like my head's in the clouds, my head's underground like an ostrich, whatever, but that's kind of what I joke that I do. So with that in mind, one of the things that happened recently is I was talking to a couple of girlfriends, and in chatting with them, right, we were talking about a specific interaction that I'd had with somebody. And one of them was just consistently going down this rabbit hole, basically, of, well, you got to be careful of this. You shouldn't do that. And, oh, watch out for this. And it could mean that. And I mean, it was really like this kind of negative direction of fear-based, you got to watch out. You got to be careful kind of thing. And my other girlfriend asked her, holy cow, what in the world is going on with you? This is so not like you. And we all just about died laughing, right? Because what came out is she's been watching a heck of a lot of the crime shows, like the CSI and whatever, all these crime shows. So all she's got in her mind are all the bad things that can happen because of what she's watching. It's kind of what went in is now coming out, right? So we have that. Another one along the same lines is I was out having drinks, yes, at a happy hour, and I got my first drink, and the drink comes and it's sitting there, and the condensation on glasses and it's dripping down or whatever. Well, I look down and oh my goodness, I pick up my drink and underneath it's a heart, perfectly shaped heart. So, I turn to the person with me and I'm like, oh my gosh, check this out. Theirs was not making any condensation marks like that, right? I didn't think anything of it, so I didn't do anything. Then I order another drink. I set it down. I pick it up. And let's put this up real quick. This is what's underneath. Not even kidding you. A smiley face. So was it just because I believe in signs, or I believe things can happen, or I believe, in the positive versus negative, that type thing? Who knows? I thought that was quite funny, though, because theirs didn't do anything and mine did. Anyway, so that being said, perhaps we do consider, right, whether right, wrong, indifferently, maybe Mr. Emoto was correct in thinking what our thoughts are, the negative things that we bring in, the emotions, spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever, what goes in does come out. So anyway, I'm a believer. Don't know about y'all, but there you go. And with that, we're going to go into the, I guess, what you really came for, which is information. So the technical enhancements to support the SOP 50.10.7 affiliation rules. I am first going to preface the fact that I am on the front end. Now, Mr. Paul, if he were here, he would be great at this one because he actually does e-transmittals. I do not. So I am rolling with this, and bear with me here. First one is loan validations and aggregate exposure calculations on origination. The second is guarantee fee calculations on origination. Now, the reason I say both of those is because they both started on 8/22, so recently. So those are in effect. The two that are not, that are coming down the line, is going to be guarantee fee calculations for servicing. That's coming on 8/31. And then the 7A and 504 loan programs, field enhancements, that are coming on 9/6. Not going to talk about those. And quite honestly, you might not even consider what I'm doing now talking about these, but I'm going to do the best I can. So Etran origination flow change. Now, we've got the real-time validations. That's the validations when clicking on validate button. When you submit or click that loan submission, immediate validation results in both instances. Now, the flip side, because there's now two, right? They're being split to the two validations, two stages. The second is going to be the batch validations. That's validations currently include aggregate loan limits. They run all day. They occur in the RO status. I'm just kind of running through this really quickly. But the new status, if the aggregate validation fails, then it goes back to the IP failed aggregate validation stage. Detailed aggregated validation message will then pop up, right? And I guess take you through a slew of things. So if we go to the next, this is my understanding of the flow chart of what's coming down the line. Ready? Yeah. It's kind of like a Monopoly game looking to me. And I have a much higher appreciation with my processors that submit these through Etran of what it looks like. Because to me, it's like, all right, every time go back to start. Nope, go back to start. Or, go directly to jail, let's say. Or, at the end, go home and drink wine. Anyway, so we can put up the real one. And you guys will get an idea. These will be coming out, guys, or if you haven't already received them, you will. And I'm not going to try to go through them because, quite honestly, as you can see, it's kind of a maze of directions. So, okay, there's my version and their version. I'm going to pull this over here so I can see a little bit better. The next one's going to be the guarantee fee calculation enhancements. Applications in or origination is what we're going to be talking about here. They're now going to be calculated twice prior to funding. If there's validation fails at this stage, the application will be moved from RO to IP. In failed aggregate validation status, the guarantee fee button in origination will return stored guarantee fee information along with the following information. Last guarantee fee calculation date, the message, final loan guarantee will be calculated at the time of funding. Pretty much what I'm seeing with this, guys, is there's going to be codes now that pop up. It's going to take it back to the in-processing stage. And really, you got to get through them before you can go to the next or before you can submit. So let's see here. The aggregated validation codes are 1100, 1102, 1103, 1104, and 1105. My first question was, where's 1101? No idea. I would love to find out if somebody knows where 1101 is. Put it in the comments because I don't know why they skipped a number there. Anyway, they give us a couple of examples here. So 1104, if you get an 1104, the aggregated 7AG loan requested amount of $5,100,000 exceeds maximum $5 million. I'm sorry, $5,100,000 exceeds the maximum of $5 million. Well, we all know the maximum $5 million. So if you get that code, obviously you need to drop your loan amount. Or maybe it's because there was another one out there and you didn't realize when you submitted this one that puts them over the SBA allowed limit of $5 million. Anyway, error code 1105, the aggregated SBA share of the loan requested amount, let's say it's $3,955,000, exceeds the maximum guarantee amount of $3,750,000. So if you get that one, obviously in both cases, you need to drop the loan amount and put it to an area that fits within either the guaranteed amount that SBA will do at the $3,750,000 and or under the $5 million mark for the total loan amount. For me, no idea again why there is no 1101. Next one that I want to talk about, and I'm going to move this over just because it makes it a little bit over to or easier for me to see the information here. It's basically the business loan program temporary changes to the Paycheck Protection Extension of Lender Records requirements. What this one is doing, guys, it's extending the current records requirement for holding onto your records for PPP loans from 6 years to 10 years. Now, let's go ahead and read this one and make sure that I get it correct. It is They extended to 10 years, a period during which all lenders that participated in the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP program, are required to retain PPP records. The provisions of this took effect on August 22nd. Now, it harmonizes this new rule, interim rule, harmonizes the PPP lender records retention requirements with the PPP and Bank Fraud Enforcement Harmonization Act of 2022, which was signed into law on August 5th of 22, that extended the statute of limitations for criminal charges and civil enforcement actions for alleged PPP borrower fraud to 10 years after the offense was committed. Now, what it does is make SBA's records, basically, the record retention requirements consistent for all across the board for all SBA lenders, regardless of how they're regulated. Some are regulated by SBA, some are regulated internally by bank laws or federal laws. And let's see here. It applies to all documents related to PPP applications, denied or canceled applications, approved, withdrawn, and all other PPP lender loan records for, any loans that have an outstanding balance, loans that have been forgiven, loans that are in repayment, loans that have been paid in full. So hopefully that helps a little bit. There's way more information out there. You'll have to go and look that up because just not enough time on this show to actually go through all of them. What I did find interesting, though, and I do want to bring up, is the reason they did it. Let me pull this up here. So let's see here, where is it at? The U.S. Attorney's Office, as of the end of 2023, had criminally charged approximately 3,500 defendants. Yeah, in 2,388 pandemic fraud-related cases, of which approximately 2,005 defendants had pleaded guilty and been convicted at trial. The fraud loss associated with these guys, oh my Lord, $1.2 billion, and that's not even the beginning. It looks like there's significantly more still coming down the pike with the U.S. Attorney's offices, as well as the Department of Justice Civil Frauds Division, which has opened another 800 new investigations related to this. I mean, the amount of money that we have lost, and to be honest, all of us are going to end up having to pay back because that's how this works, right? Due to fraud is ridiculous. It makes me sad. I really worked hard, and I know all of us out there really worked hard to try to give the businesses that needed the money during the PPP program, give them the money, right? And so many people to come forward and commit knowingly and willingly fraud, it's sad. And I think, and I'm glad that they are actually going after them and trying to recoup the money. So anyway, there's that. Past that, guys, that's it. I've only got 2 things today because my number 3, for my third is basically me taking a breath because as you can tell, I haven't. So breathe. That's number 3. Past that, we look forward to seeing you guys next week on Tuesday, where you can see the news right as it breaks here on LinkedIn and or YouTube, or go to any of your streaming platforms where you get your podcasts and catch up in your time frame. And let's see, I don't know, past that, if you've got any comments or you have anything that you'd like us to talk about, reach out to either of us on our LinkedIn platforms through messages. Paul would be with Gisa Credit Union, Paul T. Long with Gisa Credit Union, and Tanya Mazurek with Midwest Regional Bank. Would love to hear from you guys. Would love to see what you'd like us to, take on next. Anyway, see you next week and make it a great day. Bye.